see what Beryl is going to do. Fate's call is a Fate's call, and you still get that knock out of fight afterwards, and we'll see whether they're going to be able to do it. Damwon, we know. You can see Nogri is pretty frustrated at Doran at the moment, so you could imagine that Canyon probably requested, as Doran does have a ward towards the bottom side. There's the flash face breaker, though. Only level 5 for Nogri, as Doran will have another movement speed buff coming up. Great slow onto 2 members, but the Q's going to land from Canyon. He's going to get snared, and Doran shouldn't have to flash here. He even gets himself a grass proc.
Obviously, so just because of that, it's a very safe and easy pick to get into your comp.
Yep.
You can go with a lot of different things. You can go for pick comps, you can go for hardcore.
Ooh, they're looking for Ghost here. There's the Destiny Magical Journey, but is able to click it before that gold card comes out. But Deft is following the Ignite, ticks down. Knockup comes through from Koshik as well, as it's a double kill for our first couple on the side of DRX. Might just tunnel on in here, but does have the Tremor Sense, so knows where Canyon is. Now just going to actually look to try and jump on top of him. There's the tunnel forward, kick back just to deny the knockup. As now Destiny's going to be stolen away. Flash used by Pyoshik intelligently as well, as would have definitely fallen
Before the Braum as well, they're able to get essentially just some free plates down. I think they got 3 in total from that play. Now they're engaging once again.
Is the Destiny. Tempered Fate just onto Pyoshik, as Canyon had successfully stolen away the red buff, but I believe he's going to donate it back again. Carrier takes down the kill, I believe, with a tick. Oh, nope, that's Exhaust. Doesn't have Ignite. His fist is already in the air.
It's already happening, so it comes in before the flash. But you do have a fight here, though.
All right, Beryl's tagged up. Stun comes down from the concussive blows, as Chovy is behind the back of the pit. Carrier trying to get into position. Pyoshik doing the same thing. Steals it away with a casual smite. Gold card's in there. Showstopper into the backline for Nogari. Doesn't find all the value with the face breaker as Deft. Trying to kite this one out. Wants to make it back to his team, but he's not going to be able to. Damwon just rolling over the team fight. They lose the Drake, but they kill 4 of DRX's members. They understand that trying to get towards this next Drake or trying to get towards the Baron is going to be important. Great sidestep and teleport in here. As Doran does have flash available, Showmaker looking to try and get on top of him. Is the Abduct going to land? No, Snare comes through as now Chovy with his own Destiny is looking for Nogari. And now in the Dragon Pit, 3 members of Damwon, and it feels like this is really not working out. The kick is very late, but we'll see whether it is actually going to work as Canyon falls to the damage of Deft, who is in a pretty decent position, but Carrier, you can't say the same thing for him. Wildcard's not doing enough damage, and Damwon just turned their attention over to Chovy, and Deft does not have the damage to take down this team. Chovy is able to get himself out, but Deft is not going to be so lucky, and Damwon once again win the fight.
DRX is kind of damage-lacking problems here because everybody's able to dive into the backside. These members of Damwon are already so tanky, even with just the one Mountain Drake, and they just kind of get unpunished, like diving straight into the backline and doing nothing. Now they're going to go for the Baron here.
Yeah. It's not going to go down too quickly, and they don't have Canyon for the next little while, but there's no smite on the side of DRX. Chovy hasn't even bought it with his unsealed spellbook as the Baron going down low. It is taken by the Rend. Showmaker's very low. Nogari might be dying for his first time, but no, Magical Journey, one hell of a spell, and gets Damwon out cleanly. This is the Damwon we're expecting in this series.
And I think that DRX are going to have to stem the bleeding here. This might be one way.
Yep, 4 people versus 1 Lee Sin. I think we know how that one's going to work, and Chovy does find a very comfortable pickoff onto Canyon. It's going to be okay. Nogari splitting on the bottom side, pings down, and Damwon, it looks like they're not really too worried about this Baron that's alive, and they're just going to... Okay, they'll take that inhibitor.
Does it really matter if they get Baron?
Well, DRX, you know that they love the Baron. Valdez, okay? Sometimes you just need to get it. There are so many people golden inside this Baron pit, Baron included. Inhibitor going to go down, and then Nogari should be able to teleport to get himself in here. The Baron is going to go over to DRX, so at least they're able to do that, but looks like we're just going for the end of the game, which is what's going to win it for you. Okay, Beryl buys so much time. And now Doran's going to do what he can to try and stop this. Pyoshik managed to get home, as now I think Damwon will not be able to take down the Nexus. So, Baron secured at the cost of 2 Nexus turrets, an inhibitor, and an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, that was interesting trade. They might be able to get Showmaker on top of this too, which could net them a... Man, he is...
Oh yeah, Chovy's so actually doing a lot of work here. He's got a Wit's End. That is super cool. And now has Beryl here on... sorry, Canyon here along... Canyon? That's Carrier, Max. Okay, there we go. He has Carrier down there. As they went from 0 turrets to 3. Most of them being here in this mid lane is all right. We got Carrier looking for Ghost. Tempered Fate is going to be the answer, though. Carrier still underneath this turret, playing very aggressively. But it feels like DRX have found something, and they found damage that they did not have for this entire game. Inhibitor turret to go down, and I think finally Def has some of those stacks that we talk about so often. It was not there earlier on, but now DRX are pushing in for a win. Showmaker is dead for another 40 seconds. Oh, okay, we're gonna go for a base race as Canyon might just fall down here. Beryl in a lot of trouble. Dawning Shadow comes in. Nexus is exposed, but Nogari's trying to fight it, and DRX take it in a last-minute base race. This was looking like someone's game, and DRX just said no.
Drake, and then you're on Mountain Soul. You stave off the Baron push. And then
Welcome back, everybody, to the Analyst Fest. And we are back with DRX versus Diamond Game, the series that will decide the #1 team here in LCK for the Summer Split regular split, or maybe the round 1. This was the most hyped matchup of the week, or maybe even the round 1. What's your take on the draft? DRX, they had a very unconventional comp. They don't have many damage. They are focusing on the utility because Senna doesn't really do a lot of damage as a high carry champion. It's more about the consistent damage output. And it's really amazing to see that DRX was able to kind of pull it off with this kind of unorthodox comp. Diamond Gaming, they were able to show their prowess with skirmish and team fights, which is really a good pick that connects really well with their color of a team. And as Pon just said, it's really hard to get the cleanest output of a team fight on the side of DRX because they don't have a lot of burst damage, but somehow, someway, DRX was able to get the result they wanted to get. Both teams managed to show and display the strengths of each team, but in the end, DRX was the lucky side to get the nexus of the opponent. As the analyst mentioned, DRX, their comp was really not that strong during the team fights, and Diamond Gaming, their performance during team fights was really on point. At first, Beryl finds Karma and Rek'Sai with his ult. Two people was going golden, and then they engage with the Bard Q, and then Silas does a huge amount of AoE damage, and then Lee goes in for a kick. And the best situation for Diamond Gaming is that popping Karma in the beginning of the team fight, and they were able to find her in the beginning of this Dragon fight. They got rid of Karma, so DRX lost their power of sustainability of team fights. So that was the point where Diamond Gaming started to stretch out their gold lead. Indeed, this game was in favor of Diamond Gaming. However, as DRX picked up Lee Sin in the jungle, they were able to turn the flow of the game around with this Baron Shrine. Look at the gold difference here. It was around 6k gold. Maybe Diamond Gaming, they could just trade Baron with Dragon and they could just go slow. If Diamond actually just went for the Dragon and then looked for a later team fight, this could be a very easy win for Diamond Gaming, but they were a little bit rushing and ended up giving the bad result for Diamond Gaming. Players doesn't really calculate all the gold lead mathematically in every point of the game, so they were mostly following their instinct, so maybe the players were a little bit rushing and contested for a fight before Baron Shrine. At the end of this fight, the gold gap was actually reached really well by DRX. Diamond Gaming, they do have a really fantastic performance for a team fight, and their mechanical prowess is really on point, but they also have to learn how to control. They're eager to fight and focus on the macro. DRX is a team that can make a very sharp rotation and also macro decisions, so Damwon Gaming has to keep that in mind. It's time to check out the player of the game on the side of DRX.
목소리가 들리는 것 같은데요, 저는부터.
Toby with a fantastic performance and twisted fate. Usually, Zero Dats players are picking up the POG in this phase. With this first Destiny Gate attempt was really fantastic, and also Toby was not having a previous game all throughout the game, but in the end, in the later phase of the game, he was able to turn the tide around for DRX, especially this was a turning point for DRX. Lucian could have just gone for base, but that was a little bit of an unlucky moment for Kenyan. It's really actually hard to kind of guess why Kenyan was staying in that brush for so long instead of going back to his base. He was rather standing outside of the brush, giving all the information that he's pondering around the jungle. So unanimous vote going over to Chovy. Damwon, even though they showcased their incredible performance all throughout the game, Chovy was able to turn the game around for DRX. This was a very entertaining game for all the LCK fans, so let's move on to game number 2.